Hello there, St. Luke's. This is Season 2 of Tech Talk. I'm Ryan.
I'm Finn.
And today we're going to talk about the iPhone 7 and iOS 10. Normally Will would be with us, but he's got some stuff today, so Finn and I are going to lead.
Yep.
So, Colt, what are your thoughts on the iPhone 7 so far?
I've looked into it a lot, and so far, it's better than the Galaxy. Because,
It's not blowing up.
well, yes, that, and it can go farther underwater.
Why would you need the phone, though, to go underwater is my biggest question about that.
You know, some people always drop their phones in. I saw someone in the summer just going around a pool, drop it in.
Whoopsie daisy.
Twice.
That's not good.
And I think their phone was almost dead. I think it's a really good feature to have on any phone.
Well, can you take videos underwater? Because that would make
Yeah,
it
that would be
even better.
cool.
You can.
Ooh.
Supposedly, also the camera lens doesn't get water in it at all,
That's a really good
which is
feature.
amazing.
I think it's definitely worth losing the headphone jack for that.
I think that is
that's
controversial. I think that's gonna be in a little bit, but we're gonna start with Tommy for now.
Well, you don't have to take it underwater because guess what? There's something called a GoPro that can go underwater, can go in any terrain.
But I think the biggest thing there is the fact that a GoPro is only good for camera. An iPhone, it's a camera, it's a video game device, it's a message, it's tons and tons and tons and
But
tons
you can
of stuff.
upload it to your computer.
But if for some
But is
reason...
it worth the money? Because
Yes.
that costs like half of what a phone costs, and I think
I've
buy
done
a
a
phone.
lot of things with it, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool footage.
I agree with that, what Tommy has to say, but then again, the phone can do so much more, and it's so nice to take pictures underwater.
You can take pictures underwater. There's a camera setting on GoPro.
But there's so much more that you can do with the
With a
phone.
phone.
Like, you can text somebody. You can, like...
I know that, but you can send it to your phone.
So yeah, I think that is an interesting topic, but as Colt mentioned before, or Henry, I'm not sure which one it was, the iPhone 7's biggest issue with the public right now is the
headphone
fact
jack.
that there is no headphone jack, making all others' headphones useless,
Timeout.
besides the Bluetooth headphones, Beats, the Beat ones, some other ones, or October's AirPods.
Timeout. Yes, it was cheap that they took out the headphone jack, but in Tim Cook's defense, it did allow for a much better, internals. And also, it comes with an adapter.
It added so much
It's not
space.
going to kill you if you just put in an adapter and put in your headphones. I think everybody's overreacting.
Who do you think is who? Because I actually had this come up a little while ago. Do you think that if, let's say, Steve Jobs was alive right now and he was creating the iPhone 7, what do you think he would do? Would he have kept that jack because everyone knows that that's a fan favorite, all that, or would he have not done it and done what he's done now?
Yes, because not a lot of people have that much money to just get a Beats pill or Beats something. And
But I think it's more the headphones that we're talking about, not
I know,
as much a speaker.
but I'm just
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
But it's letting them have something to be proud of, that they have headphones.
Yeah.
And everybody else football players have
All sorts of cool
wireless
stuff.
headphones.
I have wireless headphones, and they were only $50. That's not too much.
Yeah.
Plus, they double up as a speaker.
So really,
So if you can get the iPhone 7,
You can get speed.
you can afford
yeah.
headphones.
Exactly.
I think that's all right. And what happened was, I think,
A teacher just came in.
yes, the teacher just came in. So sorry about that. And I actually had a question about the apps. Has anybody else heard about Mario Run? That's going to be Nintendo's.
Yes.
It could be a
It's
very
coming out
wise
in
move or a very bad move.
It's coming out in
But
December.
I've actually heard a rumor that iPhone 7 users can get it now. Has anybody else heard about that?
I have not, and I don't think it's true.
I've heard because why else would the notification have been there? By the way, do notify yourself. It's going to be lit, the game, for sure.
I am really sad. I have an iPhone 5. Don't call me old. I cannot get it. And going back to the iPhone 7 before we before we get too off topic with the iPhone, it now has two speakers, two stereo speakers. That could be something that could make up for the headphone jack.
Well, I have something with the Galaxy 7, the Samsung new phone. So I think, is the iPhone 7 shatterproof? Because that's what they've done with the
I'm not
Samsung.
sure.
And another thing is, the iPhone is still a step behind. The Samsung has eye recognition as your password instead of just the thumb.
But let's just think about Samsung for a sec. Didn't their phone burn tons of people's houses or burn people? I mean, that's just a little safety precaution.
The battery, and they used two brands. One was a legitimate brand. The other one was
cheap
one.
cheap. And if you overcharge it, boom.
Yeah. But they recalled it. They know what they did wrong. They're putting in the real good batteries. They know what they need to fix.
They're trying to make cheap money.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
Nope.
I also gotta say, I think Apple's been moving I think Apple has been, their stuff's still really good, but I think Tim Cook is not doing the best with this stuff.
I think the future of Apple with Tim Cook has slowed down.
Yep. I think we need...
Well, the iOSs are like rapid fire. As soon as you update, there's another one out within a month.
Yeah, because I think the iOSs, you gotta be careful though, because iOS 10, some were lucky who got it, which that'll be our next topic, iOS 10. Some people who were unlucky, their phones got entirely wiped. Some didn't back it up, so they had none of their contacts, phone numbers, emails, any of that stuff. So I think that they still gotta try it. I think that they should have a little more before they just try releasing it.
Well, it's arguable, because I think they should people should know when they get I think I'm 99% sure that whenever you get your phone, they tell you should back it up before you do this, back it up before you do that.
Yeah.
If people don't do that and their phones go dead, shame on them. They didn't back it up.
And one of my friends actually has the 5C and it's starting to glitch out. I think the 5s are gonna have their ending time pretty soon with the iOSs.
Yeah, I think 4S I know ended.
That ended a while ago.
Yeah, 5S is getting close, I think.
The iPad original one wasn't even able to update to iOS 7.
I have the original iPad. I have the original iPad in my house. It's probably about as thick as what?
The stable, maybe?
It's like an old computer, basically.
Yeah. It's good. It can function well, but it's on like iOS 6, iOS 7. So a lot of games like FIFA, something like that, you can't get it. And also, one other thing, you can't update the games.
Nope.
Because when it says that the games are updated, like iOS 10 or 4, iOS 9.
Yeah, I saw a lot of those.
The apps can't update because it's not compatible.
I think one of the other things so far about iOS 10, because who here has iOS 10? I think we have 3 people right now who have iOS 10. I think my favorite feature is the new messaging system and the stickers. I love to send stickers to my friends. I like to put stickers on their photos. It's a lot of fun.
Well, one thing I don't like about it is, with
the lock screen.
Yeah, you used to be able to just swipe it and go into the passcode because
that is the most annoying feature.
Yeah, because you need to. My thumbprint doesn't always work, and it sometimes disables itself.
I have that too.
And it gets really annoying.
I think that if they but before, make sure there are a few settings on the iOS 10 that you want to make sure you go back and try to redo, because there's one, if you have an iPhone 6S, if you pick up your phone, what happens is it turns on. I had but the iPhone 6s or 7s right now, you pick it up, it turns on. And I actually lost a lot of battery life with that because it just was not. It was just really, really annoying.
I actually like that a bit because it notices if you're picking it up, you're probably gonna want to start doing stuff. And so, I think it's kind of like the Fitbit in that way because you can just pick up your Fitbit and it turns on. I kind of like that.
And has anybody else been thinking at all about how the Apple Watch 2 is going to do?
Oh yeah.
I think the Apple Watch it was a very interesting thing, but I still think that I would not replace a phone with that. I know some people who are
Well, you need to have a
Try
phone
to-
to
yeah,
have that.
that's my thing. The Apple Watch it still has a lot of work that needs to be done.
Right now, the Apple Watch, I think the most I've known about it is they've made it not only sweat resistant, it's barely water resistant. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Okay, so iOS 10. One very, very, very good thing that I like that they're trying to do is that now you can ask Siri to do something that it can do within an app. So it can say like, get me a lift to some sort of airport. It'll go into Lyft and it'll say, okay, go to SFO. You don't need to actually go in and like dial it in yourself. You can just say Siri, get me a lift to blank blank blank.
Well, I kind of like that stuff, but I don't find Siri the greatest. It doesn't have the greatest listening to voice. I think the Echo's a bit ahead in that, but that's not really an Apple thing. So.
Yeah, I think almost every single computer company have made their own version of Siri. Just Cortana, Echo.
Yeah, Cortana, I gotta say, I have a Windows 10 device, and I have to say, I'm a Windows guy. I like everything Windows, but the phones, really. Or the watches and stuff. I think Apple's got the phones, but Windows has the computers. I mean, the Mac setup is not my favorite.
And they cost so much.
Yeah, they cost a lot, the Macs.
Echo is so nice. It can talk in different languages in the same sentence.
Well, I think the thing you have to compare them with, Echo has better voice recognition, but doesn't have as many features. Siri has worse voice
I think Echo is a very, very, very early, Amazon is basically trying to make their own house AI, if you will.
Exactly.
And if you aren't familiar with that, it's artificial intelligence. But it's not really artificial. It's kind of a very basic copy of this.
Well, I think one main reason that that Echo is much better at hearing and talking than Siri is because that is what Echo is, and that is what Echo is only supposed to do. It's supposed to listen to your voice, process it, and then speak back.
It's
with the
one
phone.
big
It
ball.
can do so much more. Its main focus should not and is not Siri recognizing and speaking back.
That is true.
Yeah. So, if you were to choose, an overall perspective, would you go Windows for their computers, in my opinion, which are the best? Would you go Apple for their phones, which are
Which are usually
best?
the most popular?
Yeah, they're the most popular within the class we live in. Or would you even go Amazon? Because their Fire phone and tablet aren't that popular, but they still,
They work.
They work pretty well, and they're cheaper than the name brands. And Echo. So, let's start. Colt, which one would you choose?
For a reading tablet, definitely Amazon Fire, Kindle, just because you're right next, when you open up, you're on Amazon Prime or Amazon. If you need to buy a book, you can just tap, one finger tap, and you already buy it. Instead of going through the Apple Store, trying to type in your password.
Yeah, that gets annoying eventually.
Yeah, and then you have to actually load in the Kindle app.
So, Henry, what about you?
Well, I like Apple a lot for their phones. I used to have an Android, and they just don't work as well, especially with their setup. Apple is good at being basic, so everybody can use them. They're pretty clear on what you can do.
Right. So going back, kind of in between the actual devices and iOS. For iPods, iOS 10 is only compatible with iPod Touch 6th generation.
There are those? I didn't know they came out
They
yet.
are. They're not. I don't think they're doing too well. I think probably within the next two keynotes, they're probably going to be phased out.
Yeah, iPods, I think, are ending.
iPad Mini 2, Mini 3, Mini 4, iPad 4th generation, Air 1, Air 2, and then both iPad Pro sizes. For the iPhones, last but not least, 5, 5C, 5S, SE, 6, 6 Plus, 6S, 6S Plus, 7 and 7 Plus. I think.
Oh yes,
probably-
and
7
I
SE.
hate to be one of those people who ordered a 7 Plus and go to the Apple Store only to find out they don't have them, and I've been waiting for 5 days.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not.
Well,
good at all.
and I think that probably with the next iOS, so iOS 11, I'm going to predict that I think iPad Mini 2 and 3, probably iPad 4th generation, iPad Air, iPod Touch 6th generation, and all of the iPhone 5 series are going to be phased out. They probably won't be able to update.
Pretty soon.
Pretty soon, probably either iOS 11 or 12.
The thing there's just one thing with iPad minis and pluses. They're just so alike. They're pretty much the same size.
Yeah, so I think that their iPhone, I gotta say, I like all of them for different things, so it's pretty hard for me to choose one. So, I think that was a good talk for today, right guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, hope you guys liked our preview. Next week we're gonna have Will back. We're gonna talk about some new things. We're gonna do some, hopefully have some new people here, and we're gonna hope this is gonna be awesome next week too. See you guys then.